Hey ladies and gents, welcome back. This is going to be the third and final part to What If Naruto Was a Demon Slayer. So with that being said, make sure to like and subscribe, and let's just do a brief recap of what happened in the last part before getting into the new material of the What If. So in the last part, Naruto discovered a new ability that he actually, discovered, which was basically teleportation, similar to what Minato had, except you didn't really have to do any, seals or anything like that. You could just kind of, do it. So, when Naruto did discover that, he obviously, massacred, a bunch of people. Before he actually went back, he was appointed as a Jonin, and he was appointed a new weapon as well, or the chance of getting a new weapon. Naruto decided that he wanted some daggers, and he got them made for him. So with Naruto's daggers, he tested out his ability once again, and it was more efficient than it was before because of how much faster Naruto could actually swing the daggers rather than his sword. So with that being said, let's just get into the new material of the What If itself. So Naruto has just finished, killing all the demons that were in that circle surrounding him, and he's about to walk away. However, something or someone actually approaches Naruto. This is a demon. It is one of Muzan, the, first demon guy. It's one of his, basically, top subordinates, one of his strongest members that he actually has. This person, or demon, would actually begin approaching Naruto. Naruto looks forward as he sees the person approaching him. He thinks it's just a normal person, and as Naruto gets closer, he actually recognizes him. It's somebody that Naruto actually knew back in the past. He hasn't been in the village for a while, nor has he really known exactly what was happening outside of the village. This person, or demon, that was approaching Naruto at this point, is actually Sasuke. He was turned into a demon by Muzan, and he is, his basically strongest subordinate because of the natural, basically, abilities that he would actually have, along with those being amplified when he was turned into a demon. So he approaches Naruto now, who Naruto would give him a warm greeting. He's like, oh, hey Sasuke. He's about to try to, give him a little high five, shake his hand. However, Sasuke, when he reaches out for Naruto's hand, simply slaps it away before reeling back his left hand and slamming it into Naruto, sending him flying backwards. Naruto was surprised. For one thing, he wasn't expecting a punch, but for another thing, Sasuke was nowhere near this strong before. He then looks at Sasuke, looking at his eyes and his mouth and his teeth. He can see Sasuke is a demon now. Naruto realizes this. He stands back up, and he draws his sword, as he begins to try to face off against Sasuke. Sasuke activates Sharingan and begins running towards Naruto really quickly. Naruto, still able to dodge out of the way because of his, pretty insane reaction speed, along with Sasuke not really having any demon slayer training, he doesn't know any, breath techniques or anything like that, because he kind of became a demon, so he can't really do that kind of shit. So Naruto begins watching him, begins trying to, better react and better foresee exactly what Sasuke is going to be doing. And when he does this, he uses his teleportation ability, predicting exactly what Sasuke would do before teleporting into a spot that would allow him to slice him down pretty easily. As he does this, he's about to take off Sasuke's head with his sword. However, Sasuke just barely manages to get out of the way. It does a pretty decent amount of damage to him, and it actually chops off his arm because of the way Sasuke tried to move. This arm would begin regenerating itself, however, it wouldn't do it fast enough. Naruto teleports once again, and Sasuke was fixating on Naruto and where he was. He didn't even realize that Naruto could teleport. He wasn't sure what that ability Naruto had used before was. So Naruto appears behind him. Sasuke turns to his right, but it's too late, as his head falls down to the ground. Naruto sighs. He's like, I was really hoping he'd be a good demon slayer, but it seems he's a demon now. So as Naruto picks up Sasuke's body, he returns to the village with it. He explains what had just happened, and that he kind of just killed him. And apparently he was one of Muzan's top members or something like that, so Naruto shouldn't really have any difficulty unless it was Muzan that came after him himself. Hiruzen's like, oh, okay, well that's good, I guess you could say. And Naruto returns back into, the world. He goes back out, and he's like, he's a demon slayer. He keeps going on his missions and everything like that. Till eventually, on one of these missions, Naruto discovers something. he discovers exactly where Muzan is, where his lair is, and he returns to the village and basically tells people what he discovered, what he saw. So he gets told, he's like, okay, you obviously are going to be going on this mission along with a few others. They bring Kakashi, Jiraiya, Might Guy, and Asuma with as well. Naruto's like, oh, okay, that's a pretty good team, and they begin going out. Naruto, after being appointed Jonin, now has an actual amount of respect from the people that did not respect him before, so they're going to listen to him, along with them knowing that Naruto is like currently the strongest demon slayer that even exists and is alive. So they go and they find where Muzan's lair is, or they go to where Naruto discovered it to be. They enter, and obviously Muzan is not going to be alone. There's going to be many demons there that would be defending him, I guess you could say. They would all slay these demons relatively easily, and eventually they get to the lair, or the location of where Muzan actually is, sort of at the bottom of this dungeon-looking thing. So they enter this throne room, and they begin walking out towards him. Muzan is sitting on a throne across the room, and he stands up. He scans his opponents and realizes who is the strongest along with who is the weakest. He realizes that it'll be the easiest if he takes out the weaker ones first, so he charges forward towards Asuma. Launching himself forwards, he pretty easily takes him out. Nobody was really expecting him to be this quick, and Naruto wasn't able to teleport in time. Muzan quickly begins basically shredding away at Asuma, and he actually does manage to kill him as Asuma falls down to the ground. Naruto, now realizing that this might be a little bit more challenging than he was actually anticipating, begins going full power. He increases his, ability, I guess you could say, by using his breath techniques, and he can now see and react to the speed that Muzan is going at. So Naruto would begin fighting Muzan in a one-on-one battle, because nobody else there was really able to do anything. They couldn't even see them moving. Even Kakashi taking out his Sharingan, he couldn't see shit. They were going so fast, especially considering Naruto can, teleport. So Naruto didn't use this teleportation ability at first. He knew that most of the demons didn't know exactly what his abilities are, and that if he used it at the perfect time, he would be able to take Muzan out in his basically sneak attack, sort of. That is what he realized Minato's biggest downfall was, about how clearly and how many times he actually used that ability of his. He used it so much that literally everybody knew him for the man who could teleport. Naruto did not want that to be him. Naruto begins fighting him in a one-on-one battle and uses his normal Demon Slayer abilities, trying to find the perfect opening, just like he did against Sasuke in order to use his teleportation. As he does this, he notices exactly when this is. Every once in a while, when Muzan swings his sword, because I'm going to say Muzan is using a sword in this, there's a 1 in 10 chance, I guess you could say, of when Muzan misses, he actually loses his balance and steps forward, tripping himself up a little bit. Naruto realizes this, and realizes that it literally happens 1 in every 10 times, as if Muzan is counting when he's doing it. Naruto realizes this, and he's like, okay. He begins tracking Muzan, and Muzan does this every single time. On that 10th swing, he loses his balance. Naruto realizes that this isn't just him actually losing his balance, this is just him trying to create a fake opening. So Naruto realizes this, he's like, okay, so I ain't gonna use that. He begins scanning Muzan. He needs to know exactly what his weakness is, not some fake thing. They continue fighting on, and eventually, it actually happens. Muzan truly loses his balance. It's the 5th swing this time, and Naruto seizes his opportunity. He can see in the way that Muzan was moving that this was not faked because of the panicked way of getting back into a stance of, trying to fight and swing a sword again. Naruto teleports. He gets right behind Muzan and he swings his sword down, chopping his head clean off. As Naruto basically breathes a sigh of relief, Muzan's head flops down to the floor as his body follows soon after. Muzan was officially killed, and the world basically it still had demons, but none of them were anywhere near the level of Naruto, or even Jonin for that matter. So it would be pretty easy for the rest of them to be slaughtered, especially now that Muzan wasn't around, not being able to make demons anymore. So demons they can't really be recreated anymore, so they just don't exist. So that's exactly where I'm going to leave this what if off, and the world would return to normal. So, see you guys in whatever I make next. Peace out. Bye.